my sewing machine. And lo and behold, there she is, sleeping under my sewing machine. Maybe we can find her. Okay, I want to do a Dresden plate quilt, but I do not have that ruler. So I have got the tri-tool. So I'm going to use this one to make it. Now this is what they turned out to be. So I don't see no problem with it. I think it looks pretty good. These right here are just my try it and see how it looks sort of deal. And this is what I made out of it. I have one extra in here, so we know that that's not going to work. We need only 6 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 7 in here. One needs to come out so that it will do better. It will lay better. So we need 7 of them in it. And I think it looks pretty good. So these are the colors I'm going to use. This one right here, and then I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to make little yo-yos out of green and put right in the center right here, a yo-yo. So I think that right there will work out pretty good. Now my background fabrics, I'm going to use this one, and it is going to stay like this. It will not have a flower on it. Then I have another block that I'm going to use this for, and I'm going to have one on it. Then I have a brown that I'm going to use that's going to have a block on it. Now, my thing is I am going to use this right here as the block size. Now, also, I'm going to make a 3-inch border to go around each block that will go this way. So, if my brown, then I'll have white up here. If it's white, then I'll have brown up here. So, we are going to get busy, and we are going to see how well that this turns out. So now then, let's start cutting out our blocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scoot this over as far as I can, and I'm going to leave this right here open. But we're going to go ahead and, let me find my other one, and we're going to cut down this way so I can have this side free. This is what I'm going to be able to get my other ones out of. So here we go with this. We're going to cut, well, if I pick it up. So now we're going to cut all these out. So, I don't know how many blocks I'm going to end up with. I don't know how it's going to turn out. But, as far as I can say is we are going to give it a good try and see what it looks like when we get done. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut out all these blocks, and then we'll see what happens from there. Okay, my tri-ruler is 6.5 inches. So, I'm going to cut a series of 6.5 inches of strip, like this, all the way down. I'd rather pull this away. So I'll make sure I got my right one. So I'm going to do this with the green, with the this one and that one, and hopefully I have enough material to do it, to do what I have in mind. If not, I'm going to have to add into it. Find some more colors to go into it. But I won't start sewing until I'm pretty sure of what I have. Because the way I do things is totally different than what everybody else does it. And I'm good that way. And so I'm going to continue to cut these out and see what I can come up with these. And the blue that I have. And we'll see what happens from there. So I will see you throughout. Okay, I have got them, all of them, with a block with them. See, I've got the red with this one. And we go on down, got blue. I put red and blue all the way through. The only thing is right here at the end of it, I had to go with blue and blue. But we're going to still work it out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew all these down this side right here. All of them down this side. So, and then we'll be back. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm turning them in half like this. And I'm sewing them like that. And I'm going to do the whole stack. And we're going to get them all done. So this, I hope, turns out to be pretty because I don't have everything that I need, but I have what I have, and I take what I have, and I try to make pretty quilts out of what I do have. People give me stuff a lot. I have a lot of stuff here to make quilts. And I take what I got, and I do what I got. And most of the time, it turns out pretty. And then I get overloaded on them. Then I have to give them away. So, we're going to keep on throughout. Okay, I made me a template that will go right up inside of that. If you push it up in there, it'll make it straight to where it'll lay out evenly. So what I'm doing is I'm spraying some really watered down glue on it. So I'm sliding this up in here, pushing it up in there, and then I am ironing it on both sides with the glue on. And see here, it'll come out. It wants to get stuck now. And it'll come out right. So that is my next thing that I'm doing, is ironing all these. And don't forget to put a little bit of watered down glue on it. It makes it stiffer and easier to sew. So, while I do this, I'll see you throughout. Okay, now that we have all these right here ironed and I have them set up in 7s, what we're going to do is we're going to take one out of each stack because we have an odd number in them. So, when we go to the sewing machine, we're going to sew them in the assembly line and sew 2 together. And then we have our odd ones right here. So, we are going to go and we're going to work on that. Okay, to sew these together, what we're going to do is we're going to put one pretty sides together, and then we're going to line them up, and we're going to sew, get over here where I can see it, and then we're going to sew straight down. Like that right there. So, we're going to get busy on that, and we're going to get that done. Okay, now that I have them sewed into 2s, I've stacked them in 3s. So, because that would make one block. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one out of each one. So, therefore, that will come up even, and then I'll sew them together, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to get these and I'm going to sew them onto these. So there we go, and I'll show you when I get completely done. Okay, when you get the 2 together, then what I did was I sewed the 3 together, and then I'm sewing the 3 to here, and this is what it's coming out to look like. Aren't they pretty? Now I have green to go in the yo-yo to go right in the middle here. So, we'll get started on these next after we get all these right here sewed. Okay, now each one, I'm going to put it in the middle of a block. And I'm going to pin it down. And make sure that it is in the middle and I have enough seam allowance on each side. Like that. And I'm going to zigzag stitch them all the way around. So, when we get done with this, then we'll be back to see what else we can get into. Okay, I hope you could see the zigzag stitch that I used. So now we're going to pull back and let you look at the blocks. I think they turned out pretty good. Now let's work on the yo-yo. Now the yo-yo looks like this, just a little tiny thing. And I'm going to put it right here in the middle of the flower. So the way I'm doing it, and hopefully I won't knock it off like I did before, because this is my second take, is I sew it by hand all the way around. I like sewing by hand, but I can't see good enough to thread the needle anymore, so I have to kind of like limit what I sew by hand. but I like to sew by hand. So anyway, this is the way that I make the yo-yo. Oh goodness, I didn't want to go in there. Okay, and it's really the stitch size really doesn't matter. Oh, we got one more stitch. There we go. We can do it without getting it all tangled up. Of course, you know, that's the good thing about it. There we go. Now then, we're going to put it all together. And then we'll make us a knot right there. And I think that'll be good on it. And then we're going to take it and pull it out here to make our round thing. And there it is. There's our yo-yo. So, and it will go right in the middle of all the flowers. So, I'm going to get busy on that, and then we'll see what comes up next. Okay, we got our block done. All of them's done now. Doesn't that look pretty? So now we're going to cut the parts that we need to go up here at the top. I'm hoping I have enough to go here and here, but we are going to see. So we are going to start cutting them out and sewing them on so that we can have that done. And we're also going to have to come up with something to go on this too to make it the same. But we were going to see what happens from here. So let's just get busy and sew these on. I am stuck to a cord now. This is the way that I have it laid out. So we've got a white and brown, a striped, a brown and white. There we go. Then we got a brown and white, a white and brown, a striped. So you see how I got it laid out? They all going this way, and 3 going this way, 2, and then like that. So, I think it looks pretty good. Now I've got to work on the side and the top of all these. So, I'm going to see what I've got for that, and I'm hoping I've got some white. I'd rather have white on those. I think it would look good. So, here we go to look. Okay, I found a darker brown to make our other borders with for this one. So now we're going to get busy on it. And we're going to go this way and this way like we did the other blocks. And it's going to be on 3 inches. So we're going to get busy on that. I have them laid out right here in a row, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those first 2 rows and I'm going to sew them together, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to figure out what it needs to be done. So here we go. We'll start putting it together. So, well, I just lost my cord. Oh well. So here we go with putting this quilt together, and we're going to have fun. Have them all sewed together. Now we're going to sew them to each other. And I'm going to sew these 2 together. And then I'm going to sew the next 2. And I'm going to sew them all together. And then we'll take a gander at it and see what it looks like then. Okay, I have got it all sewn together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same dark brown right here, and I'm going to put a strip down this side and down here at the bottom. So it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it so far. So we'll take care of it from there. Okay, we're going to start getting it ready to quilt. Now, I've got my batting out there. Now this is going to be my backing. So we are going to lay this one out flat on it. And see if we can't get her. And get her laid out here. We want her flat all the way around. Okay, there we go with that. Now, we want to turn the top one, our quilt top, upside down on it. Like this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin it all the way around so as I get straightened up. I'm going to pin it all the way around, take it to the sewing machine, and sew it. Now, the one thing we need to remember is we need to keep us an opening so we can turn it back, turn it right side when we are done with doing it. So, here we are going to do that. Well, I'm going to get busy on that. Okay, we got it sewed all the way around, and now I'm trimming it down. So, our next thing is to do the unveiling to see how well we have done. So, here we go. I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. It's too big for my taste. So, here we go. We are going to turn it around. This is the first time I've ever done a blanket like this. So, we are going to, oh, it's looking pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, buddy. We can handle this. Alrighty, I'm going to continue to lay it flat and work it out, and then I'll be back. I've got it pinned all the way around, and I've got it pinned in the middle here. So now what I'm going to do is right down in these two sides, I'm going to sew all the way down, and then down through here on both sides. And then on the border, I'm going to sew right in here and right out here. So, we're going to get done with that, and then you'll see the finished product.